again. This is the second part of the well-being series. Nice idea if you can practice the first one, or if you practice that in the morning and then this one at the evening, whatever works for you. So we're going to start to move in to a few more postures, but the idea before we move into the postures is that we warm up the body a little bit and we don't start going straight into any postures without making sure the body's quite warm and relaxed. So we're going to start in sitting. So remember the book that you needed, or as this case, the paper, or you can use a yoga block if you've got one. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down into sitting. The other thing I'm going to show you, if sitting cross-legged is really uncomfortable, I'm going to show you kneeling as well. So we'll do those postures first. So you can come down into sitting if that feels comfortable for you. So if you're quite happy and settled here, please stay here. But I'm also going to give you the option to kneel. Now, kneeling, some people love kneeling, some people don't like kneeling. So we'll just talk about that. But sometimes kneeling is quite nice to do some of the breathing exercises in, and it also gives us quite a nice spine. It's good for digestion, that sort of thing. So we'll just do the two options you've got for sitting. I always want to give you options rather than saying you have to sit here. So if you're comfortable here, stay here and just keep your breathing going. You either put one hand on the belly, breathing in, or you can have a look at kneeling. So for kneeling, I wouldn't do kneeling for a very long period like this. I would always use my cushion and possibly, it's quite heavy, that paper, use my cushion and maybe my book as well. So I've got a little bit of height. If you're in your living room and you've got cushions, pop cushions under. So give yourself a little bit of height. This makes kneeling very comfortable. If kneeling is hurting in your ankles, you can just roll up a blanket and pop underneath your ankles. So we've got two options. If cross-legged doesn't work for you, you've got kneeling, but you've got kneeling with a little bit of height, or you've got cross-legged with your book or cushion, whatever you feel comfortable sitting on. So there we go. So just the two sitting poses. So what I may say is just come to a comfortable sitting pose, and you don't have to do what I'm doing. You make it comfortable for yourself. Okay, so let's start off with the upper body. Let's keep the breathing again. So just take a moment before we start, just to get into the breathing again. You may want to put your hand on your belly or rest a hand on the knees, or if you're in kneeling, rest your hands, palms facing up or palms facing down on your knees. So we're just going to start just by getting into the breathing. So the idea is that we drop the attention down into the body, because otherwise it'll just stay up here. You know, we'll be thinking what we're having for dinner, what we need to do at work, what we're going to say to that person, and so we'll talk about that a little bit more when we do the meditation. So just observing the thoughts dropping from the head into the belly. Good. And keep this breathing going. And if you find yourself holding your breath, or you find yourself overthinking, just bring everything back into the breathing, and using the belly as a little bit of an anchor. So let's pop our fingers onto our shoulders, keep the breathing going, and just 8 going one way, and that's 8, and then 8 going the other way. You can make them as slow or fast as you like. I'm pulling that face because I'm quite tight in the shoulders. So make them as slow or fast as feels right for you. If you need to pause right now and go in a little bit slower, I've lost count, 6, 7, and 8. So yeah, as I said, if you need to pause and you want to spend a little bit more time with the shoulders, please do. And then just shrug them out. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of opening here as well. So what's really important when we're doing anything with the upper body is we don't want to strain in the lower back. So I'm just going to sit sideways so you can see what I mean. So sometimes when we want to kind of move into the upper back, we squeeze a little bit into the lower back. So what we want to make sure is the pelvis is really heavy and we're rising the spine up a little bit. So we don't want to have this happening. We want to just have this happening. So I hope that makes sense. So come back. Oh, you don't have to come back. I have to come back into the middle. So come back. Just lift the arms up. Now belly's in a little bit, softly. And then you can just raise up the arms, you're just stretching up the arms. Now when we're stretching up the arms, we're trying not to lift in the shoulders, it's just the arms stretching up with the breathing. So you might want to exhale as you lift the arms, inhale as you lower the arms. You can take them a little bit further down if you want, but just stretching up, keep the belly in so we're not overarching in the back. Keep everything quite soft, there's no requirement to hold them up rigid, keep them nice and soft. And then down, and then a couple more of those, keep breathing. And you do one more. Good. And then we're going to come in back to this shape. Now, we're not going to get into, all of us are going to get into this one because it's a little bit of a twist. So what I'd like you to do is bring the right elbow over the left. Bring the right elbow over the left. Now, you can have the palms back to back, or you can follow round into prayer. So whichever way you are, whether the palms are here, keep them here, or if you're like this, fine. Or you can bring the palms here. So what I'd like you to do is just drop the chin just a tiny bit and lift the elbows. Drop the chin, lift the elbows. Carry on breathing here. Again, be careful that the lower back isn't arching, you're not flaring out the ribs. Breathing really into the back of the shoulders. And slowly start to unravel the arms. And let them go, give the shoulders a roll. And then we're going to come back and do the other side. So left arm on top. So again, one side may feel more difficult than the other. So if this is where it's at today, great, that's where it's at. If the palms can come a little bit together, great. If you can twist, fine. But whichever place you feel comfortable, drop the chin and the elbows rise up, maybe a few millimeters, nothing much. And you do your breathing from here, breathing into the backs of the shoulder blades. And again, be careful that we're not poking everything out, gathered in a little bit, pelvis nice and heavy. If it needs to have a little wiggle, give it a little wiggle. If you want a little bit more here, raise the elbows. But you'll find you're getting really deep into those shoulder muscles. And then let that go and just move the arms however they want to move. The next one we're going to do, again, bring your dressing gown belt, your sock, your strap, whatever you're using, because this is quite helpful. So I'm just going to turn my back to you for 1 minute because I just want to show you what I'm up to. So I'm going to lift up this arm and then drop that back. And then I'm going to pop the strap here and I'm going to hold like this. Okay, so you might want to just stretch out the tricep. Again, be careful of the lower back, gather the belly in a little bit. And so then pop the belt in the hand and hold it. If you want to, you can hold on to the fingers. So I'm going to come back round again. And you're doing your breathing, so you must be about 4 or 5 by now. And we're lifting, so it's this part that's stretching, it's in the tricep, good. Okay, lovely. And then bring that out. And notice how the two sides feel a little bit differently now. So we're going to do the other side. So if you want to just warm up in the tricep again, hold the belly a little bit, so we're protecting the lower back at all times. And then you pop your belt into the upper hand. And it looks like this. Pull the belly in a little. It looks like this, you're breathing. Or if you can reach, please reach. and then out you come out of that one.